We have some huge backstage news regarding the MJF situation, and a major WWE star is set to leave the company. But first, there has been a heated confrontation between an AEW and a WWE talent. In a report coming out of the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week, following last month's Houston, Texas taping of AEW Dynamite, Chris Jericho would be confronted by WWE's MVP in a hotel. Jericho is said to have been hanging out with fellow AEW star Matt Hardy at around 1 AM before MVP turned up. Things are then said to have gotten heated, this after the two apparently fell out 18 months ago, with people watching initially thinking the two men were joking around before tensions grew and it became apparent that the two were serious. Whilst no physical fight took place, the incident reportedly led to Jericho telling MVP that he doesn't fight jobbers, as he got into an elevator which left MVP screaming in the lobby. It was added that the two had fallen out after an online disagreement over the 2020 US presidential election, with Jericho being a supporter of former President Donald Trump. MVP has since responded to the claims on Twitter, and he said, "Even when they get the story right, they get the details wrong. Gotta love the dirt sheets." It's not clear which specific details are right or wrong, according to MVP, although this does appear to confirm that some kind of confrontation took place. But what do you make of the Chris Jericho MVP situation? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, a New Japan champion has been stripped of their title. This week, New Japan Pro Wrestling would take to their website to announce that IWGP United States champion Juice Robinson is no longer champion, with the title now being vacated. Robinson was scheduled to take on Tomoaki Honma at the Best of the Super Juniors final show in a non-title match recently. However, he was unable to appear due to suffering from appendicitis. This week, Juice was scheduled to defend his title against Will Ospreay and Sanada in a triple threat, although the match will instead be a singles match between the two challengers to crown a brand new champion for the now vacant belt. This match will go down this Sunday at Dominion. Sanada is in fact a former United States champion himself, although his 49-day reign was cut short due to injury in April. Ospreay would become a first-time champion were he to win the match. But who do you think leaves Dominion as the IWGP United States champion? Let me know in the comments down below. And next, a brand new champion has been crowned in WWE. Last night, WWE would hold the latest edition of SmackDown, where Ricochet would put his Intercontinental title on the line against former NXT UK champion Gunther. Although Ricochet tried his best, Gunther was dominant throughout, ultimately coming out on top, picking up his first ever main roster WWE title. The Austrian's win ends Ricochet's 98-day reign with the belt, which began in early March when he dethroned Sami Zayn with the help of Johnny Knoxville. Gunther made his SmackDown debut on April 8th and quickly rose up the ranks despite initial concerns from fans, fueled by a name change from Walter, which he of course used on the independent circuit as well as during his time in NXT UK. According to a recent report from Fightful, many people of influence within WWE have been impressed by the powerhouse, with his commitment to the cause receiving internal praise. His recent move to the United States, something he was initially reluctant to do, as well as his dedication to losing weight through diet and training, has given him some bonus points. It was also noted that Vince McMahon has enjoyed his in-ring work, with his title win last night seemingly giving the report some credibility. But what do you make of Gunther as Intercontinental Champion? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, we have an update on the injured Cody Rhodes. At the recent Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Cody would wrestle Seth Rollins inside the steel structure, working the match with a torn pectoral tendon that he suffered whilst training for the match. It was later confirmed that Rhodes would be taking a break from television to undergo surgery and recover, and we now have a time frame for his return. Last night, Cody's wife Brandi would take to Twitter to provide an update on her husband, confirming that the surgery has been complete, giving some gruesome details regarding the injury itself, and she wrote, "The doctor just repaired Cody's pectoral tendon, which was torn completely off the bone. Successful surgery, he is on the road to recovery now." WWE's official Twitter account would later reveal that Cody had surgery on Thursday as previously reported, and the procedure was a success. They would add that the American Nightmare faces a long recovery, with him being unable to compete for 9 months. This means that he could be looking at a return in March 2023, although it's possible that they have given a longer time frame than necessary to make the return a surprise, perhaps at the Royal Rumble in January. This is of course just speculation at this point, but it wouldn't be the first time this has happened. Of course, we wish Cody a speedy recovery, and hopefully we can see him back for WrestleMania next year. Next up, we have some huge backstage news regarding MJF's recent pipe bomb promo. Last week on AEW Dynamite, MJF would cut a vicious promo on AEW President Tony Khan before stating that he wants to be fired from the company as he doesn't want to be here anymore. This followed reports of legitimate heat between the two men, which led to MJF no-showing a meet and greet the day before Double or Nothing, with MJF said to be unhappy with the pay he receives compared to AEW's recent ex-WWE signings. Well, this week in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there was some details given over AEW's approach to their hottest angle, with the company said to be willing to take financial hits in order to pay off the long-term goal of the storyline. As we know, MJF's merchandise has been pulled from the official store, this during MJF's highest phase of popularity thus far, meaning they are no doubt leaving money on the table in this regard. The report written by Dave Meltzer notes that AEW want fans to think MJF is completely gone, which explains why announcers have not mentioned the promo since, with AEW's social media accounts no longer posting MJF-related content. On top of this, Warner Discovery's recent calls for MJF to be pulled from promotional spots is said to have been an AEW call as a strategic play to add legitimacy to the angle, with it being previously unclear if Warner had made the call themselves after being worked into a shoot. There has been speculation that MJF recently signed a new contract with the company in order to spark this new rogue angle, although it was emphasized that nobody knows and nobody will know exactly what MJF and AEW President Tony Khan discussed at their recent meeting in Las Vegas. It's possible that this is where the plans for the angle took place, to play into the recent reports of heat between the two. Meltzer would note that he expects MJF to return to AEW TV out of the blue with no warning, with the only certainty being that he is under contract with AEW until January 1st, 2024. Dave added that it was clear that MJF leaked the information about him booking a flight out of Vegas before Double or Nothing following the meet and greet no-show, which caused the speculation that he could no-show the pay-per-view itself. AEW then pulled the preview of the match between MJF and Wardlow from their YouTube channel, and Meltzer would write, "We can't outright say that AEW wanted it, the flight rumor out, but one would think both sides were working together, and they did. If AEW didn't want it out, they're not pulling the YouTube preview the day before for the attention, so it was really quite deeply thought out." The apparent deep thought that went into this angle is clear to see, although it's still unclear if the storyline started as a shoot. Was MJF legitimately upset with his situation in the company before they decided to work it into an angle following reports? Or is this whole thing, including the leaks of unrest, all part of the work itself? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Either way, the MJF story continues to grip the AEW fanbase, who are excited to see what's next. And finally, a huge WWE departure has been confirmed. In December 2017, the in-ring career of Paige would be cut short following a botched kick at a house show to the back of the neck, which led to an impact injury forcing her retirement. Since then, there has been rumors of a possible return to action, often fueled by Paige herself, who has regularly discussed her desire to wrestle again. Of course, she was never able to get cleared by WWE's doctors, but now we know that if the return were to happen, it could be outside of WWE. Last night, the former Divas champion would take to Twitter to release a statement confirming that her WWE contract is set to expire, with her adding that July 7th will be her last day with the company. She would thank them for their support over the years and would write, "July 7th will be the last day with WWE. I'm so thankful and I appreciate the opportunities that the company has given me. I will always be appreciative of the company that took in a 18-year-old Brit pale emo girl that didn't look like your average diva, giving me the chance of a lifetime and making me feel like a superstar. I know after my neck injury taking me out of in-ring status, it was pretty hard to keep me around for as long as you did, and for that I'm thankful too. Thank you to the WWE Universe. You guys are the most passionate group of fans I've ever seen. Hope you continue to stay on this journey with me. I think the toughest part, weirdly enough, is having to let the Paige name go. But Saraya is a hell of a name. Kudos to my mom for that one. FYI, I'm not saying I'll never be in the ring. That day will most certainly come again, wherever the return may be. Outside of wrestling, Paige has built up a Twitch channel as well as a clothing and cosmetic brand named Saraya, which of course is her real name. It seems that this will be the name that she uses were she to wrestle again, although previously, before she joined WWE, she was known as Brittany Knight. She is part of the infamous Knight wrestling family in the UK, and her mother wrestles under the name of Saraya Knight, which is where she got her name from. Whilst there is still no return date confirmed, it seems Paige, or Saraya, still hopes to wrestle again, with this likely being something that she works towards. But what do you think the future holds for Saraya? Let me know in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 things that you didn't know about AEW's Hook.